Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL Draft for the Las Vegas Raiders. This ranking is based solely, and I mean solely, on the QB talent and where I think they fit with the silver and black. Now, if you don't already know the Raiders quarterback depth chart, Aiden O'Connell is the only dude that I think is going to be back here, which is why I am so confident that Las Vegas is going to be taking a QB in April. So Jimmy Garoppolo, they're going to cut him. Brian Hoyer, he's not going to be on this team next season. Really curious to see who they end up pairing with AOC and letting them compete for a starting job. If you're looking for Raiders videos all day, every day, hit that subscribe button. You want videos around the draft, got you covered. Free agency, got you covered. We're going to be live for the entire 2024 NFL Draft, every single pick here on the Raiders Report. Don't get lost. Find us. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go to number 10 on the list. It's Sam Hartman, quarterback from Notre Dame. Now, I know this. I know that Telesco loves himself some Notre Dame quarterbacks. Hartman, to me, is somebody that you're going to target late day 3. Smart QB. Has had to transfer to a few different schools. Doesn't really do anything spectacular. If you're looking for a game manager, Hartman is an intriguing player in that regard. Very, very smart dude overall. But again, I'm not taking Sam Hartman to be the starting quarterback of the Raiders. In fact, there's not many guys on this list that I would actually do that around. Let's go to number 9, Jordan Travis from Florida State. You're taking Jordan Travis the same way that you took Hendon Hooker the year that Hooker got hurt. Went to the Detroit Lions and was having an incredible season. And I almost feel bad for Travis because of the injury that he sustained. And I do think it's kind of funny, people hype up J.J. McCarthy, but yet, kind of just throw Travis to the side, because to me, the tape, it's a lot more similar than what people want to realize. They both don't make a lot of NFL caliber throws. They both had to rely on their defense. Both players are good athletes, don't have a great arm in sense of being able to throw the loft, but can throw the laser beam. Jordan Travis, though, rolls in here at number 9, and unfortunately the injuries have bumped him down a little bit. So here's my question. If the Raiders target a quarterback in the draft, who should it be? You call the shots. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show, which means you're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. Believe it or not, it does help us out when you let that ad play. So please take that 30 seconds, comment while the ad's rolling. Who should the Raiders draft in 2024? At number 8, it's Michael Pratt from Tulane. And Pratt, I've had to move down my list a little bit. And if Jordan Travis was healthy, Travis would be at number 8. And Pratt, I probably would have bumped up a little bit. But 2,406 yards this past season for the Green Wave. Is it Green Wave or Blue Wave? Green Wave, yeah. 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But Pratt, I felt like has gotten worse, which I'm kind of upset about. He was a player that I was a little bit more intrigued by last season or entering this college football year. But right now is where there is a clear tier break for the Las Vegas Raiders and probably the entire NFL. Let's go to number 7. It's Spencer Rattler. If you want a dude that's got some upside, Rattler might be that man. I mean, he looked pretty damn good in the Senior Bowl game a few weeks ago by the time y'all are watching this video. He was the MVP in that game. He's got the arm talent. He's got the athletic ability. The problem is it's up here with him. If you're worried about what Caleb Williams is off the field, then you should also be worried about Spencer Rattler. But if you're betting on talent, and I mean talent and talent alone, there were some people 2 years ago that thought Rattler could be a top 5 pick. When he's on, he's on. When you rattle him, though, hence maybe why it's in the name. We'll get into some of our top quarterback prospects here in just a second, because there is another tier break coming up here in the top 6. But, man, y'all know that I love Prize Picks, and I've loved Prize Picks for way before they were a sponsor on the show. Whether it's, which baseball's right around the corner, which is crazy. NBA could be another one that you could rely on. All you got to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Chugs is a big UFC fan, so all you got to do is pick 2+ players, choose more or less. It's really as simple as that, and you can actually go with multiple NBA games, which, I'm not going to lie, I've been more interested in playing Prize Picks with NBA just because it helps me learn the players a little bit more. It's also fun when you're going to watch a game that you do not care about whatsoever. And I did this a few weeks ago when Alex and we went to a Mavericks game, and I had Luka Doncic. I think the more or less was at 37 points in a game that I don't really care about. But guess what? And a dude that's going to touch the ball a lot, it was electric. I was glued to this screen. So if you're like me and you're like, all right, well, football's over now. What the heck am I supposed to do with my free time? You want to learn more about another sport? You want to have a fun time with your significant other, kid, fiance, you're trying to teach them a sport. I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to teach somebody a sport and you also want to have a good time, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Make sure that you use code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. At number 6, J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. And all these next 6 QBs do have the potential to go in round 1. I wouldn't touch McCarthy with a 10-foot pole in round 1. However, I've seen it be hyped. Does he have upside? Yes, he's a good athlete. However, though, I've made this comparison before. McCarthy's like a pitcher in the MLB that throws a 93-mile-an-hour flat fastball with bad off-speed stuff. To me, he's got one thing, and that is he throws the ball hard, and it's not even like he has an elite arm. He's got a good arm. I'm just scared of what McCarthy turns into. Can he be a better prospect than this guy at number 5? Yes, he's definitely got better upside. But to me, here at number 5 is Bo Nix. That's a quarterback that would fit better in a Luke Getsy offense. And quite frankly, if you've watched some of my shows recently, this is the dude that I think that the Raiders end up taking. Like, I see them signing a veteran quarterback like a Kirk Cousins, and then they end up drafting Bo Nix at the back end of round 1. They're not going to take him at 13. At least they better not take him at 13. But he had 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a very impressive completion percentage. But when you compare what Getsy likes to do, it's getting the ball out quickly, a lot of screens, short intermediate routes, let your athletes be athletes. That's what Oregon did at Bo Nix, and I'll tell you what, he mastered that offense. So maybe I might eat my words in saying I don't want the Raiders to draft Bo Nix. Let's go to number 4 here. It's Michael Penix Jr. I'll admit, I think Nix might actually be a better fit in what Getsy's offense is, but Penix is just the clearly better quarterback. Like, he was better at the Senior Bowl. He's been better the past 2 seasons. He's just the better player. Won the head-to-head matchups. And Mitch, you can't say he won the head-to-head matchups. Oregon and Washington, you can't compare wins and losses. I just did. Watching Penix up against Texas is why a team should draft him in the top. I mean, if he plays the way he did against Texas, he might be a top 10 pick. But then the following game against Michigan is why you have to be hesitant. He's a older quarterback who's got tons of injury issues. They're going to be flagged at the combine. He is probably the hardest player to put my finger on where exactly he gets drafted. Now we're going to get into the top 3 QBs, and it's no secret who they are. And quite frankly, they're the only quarterbacks that the Raiders should even target in round 1, especially in the top 13 picks. But if you don't know already, I'm Mitchell Renz 365, and to stay up to date on all the things going on around the Raiders, hit me up IG, Twitter, right there. And to stay up to date while I'm away on vacation, head up Jeremy Chuggs on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. If any breaking news happens around the silver and black, it'll be my man Chuggs going live, and he'll tell you here on Twitter. Let's go to number 3 on my list for the quarterbacks. It's Caleb Williams, and he's going to end up going to the Commanders. He's ranked number 3 on my list for the Raiders now because I actually don't know if he's the best fit in the Luke Getsy offense compared to the other 2 guys. And on top of that, maybe I'm a little bit bitter about what the hell's going on with Cliff Kingsbury, but at this point, this is not going to be the QB that the Raiders get. In fact, I put it out on social media. 0% chance Caleb Williams is the Raiders quarterback this upcoming season. This has got to be a fun question, though. What are the odds the Raiders trade up for a QB? The more and more stories that come out, the more rumors that come out, I think that if there's a team that ends up not taking a quarterback in the top 3, the Commanders are taking one. I think the Bears end up taking one. It sounds like it might be the New England Patriots, and if it's the Patriots, this might be best case scenario for the Raiders to jump up and get a guy at number 2 or get a dude at number 1. But I'll tell you this, if they do end up trading up for a quarterback, the person that it's most likely going to be is number 2. It's Jayden Daniels, the quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner from LSU. This dude's got the relationship with Marvin Lewis, the Raiders' assistant head coach. He's got the relationship with Antonio Pierce. And at the end of the day, I think AP is going to do what AP does. He's going to bring in guys that he believes are going to invest in what he's selling. And Jayden Daniels has always been invested in what Antonio Pierce and Marvin Lewis have been selling. So to me, Luke Getsy, Jayden Daniels, sign me the F up. But the number 1 quarterback prospect for me, for the Raiders, doesn't surprise you, it's Drake Maye from North Carolina. To me, he is just he's the top dude, man. Like, He is going to be a special, special talent. I do want to see what he looks like with some actual NFL players around him. Anybody that says he's Mitch Trubisky, you're not watching any tape. Anybody that thinks that he's going to be a bust, I can't wrap my mind around it. Out of Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, the safest quarterback to me is Maye. He might not have the upside as Jayden. He might not have the upside as Caleb Williams, but the safest quarterback prospect, and I think he could really, really fit that Getsy offense, is in fact North Carolina's Drake Maye. So here's my question. For the Las Vegas Raiders, what should they do? And I'm talking round one and quarterbacks only. Do you trade up? Do you trade up for your Jayden Daniels, your Drake Maye? Do you try to do that? Or do you just draft a quarterback at 13? That basically means Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy. Like, those guys are going to be available. Yes, you're going to be reaching a little bit, but if you want to ensure that you're getting your QB, that's your option. Or are you team trade back where, yeah, you're going to take a risk. You might not get the Knicks. You might not get Michael Penix Jr. You might not have J.J. McCarthy there. Or do you end up trading back? For me, and it's always going to be this until I am told there's a 0% chance of it happening, I am team trade up. I am team trade up to try to get a QB. If they say, Mitch, it's absolutely impossible for you to trade up for a quarterback, I'm not taking one at 13. There's not a QB that I believe is going to be there at 13 worth the pick. If that's the case, I will end up trading back. Or, which I guess I could have put this as an option, you take best player available at 13, and then you use your second round pick, and you end up trading up to take a QB in the back end of the first round. I guess that's another option. So let's roll through these names one more time here. The top quarterbacks that the Las Vegas Raiders should consider drafting. At number 1, it's Drake Maye. At number 2, it's Jayden Daniels. After that, I would say the most likely option is Bo Nix. If you want to take a late round flyer, Spencer Rattler. The name that I will always be intrigued by because of Tom Telesco is Sam Hartman. Remember, y'all, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and enjoy the rest of your day.